A week ago, a few hours before the What's on Stage Awards happened, I posted a video predicting who would win each of the 24 awards. Now the winners have been announced, I thought it would be fun to go through and see all of the winners that I predicted compared to who the actual winners were. See how many I got right, how many I got wrong. Hopefully I didn't make a total fool of myself. I don't think I have. I've been through it and I think there's a decent amount I've got right. I don't think I need to hide last week's video off the face of the earth. I don't think it quite puts me to shame. But let's have a little look. Again, got my iPad here. This time it has my predictions highlighted in green and the winners highlighted in yellow so that I can see the difference. So the best performer in a play award I thought would be Jonathan Bailey in Richard II, and it was Jonathan Bailey in Richard II. So we're off to a great start there. Best performer in a musical, I thought it would be James Hamid and Artie Shah in Paddington. And if I remember correctly, I think I said there is no competition. Unfortunately for everybody else, they are definitely going to win. I was wrong. Rachel Zegler won in Evita. Now, to be fair to me, there are a few awards here where I said in last week's video, before I'd seen Paddington, I would have said this one. But because I've seen Paddington, I now think Paddington. And for some of them, Paddington did win. But for others, the one I thought it would have been before I saw Paddington was the winner, if that makes any sense at all. I'm confusing myself, but I still think James Hamid and Artie Shah are going to win some award, something for their portrayal of Paddington. I mean, hey, the Oliviers are coming up, who knows. Best supporting performer in a play, I thought it would be Stephen Fry in The Importance of Being Earnest, and it was Stephen Fry in The Importance of Being Earnest. Best supporting performer in a musical, I thought it would be Amber Davis in The Great Gatsby, and again, it was Amber Davis in The Great Gatsby. Phenomenal performance, absolute star. Very, very pleased to see her win that award. Best takeover performance. Now, my prediction was Rob Madge in Cabaret. And if you go back and watch the video from last week, I spent quite a bit of time talking through each option. I was really unsure about who was going to get it. And I did stop on the winner for a moment. And then I passed by because I didn't trust my gut. If I'd have trusted my gut, I would have got it right because it was Emma Kingston in Wicked. I saw her last year. Insane. Absolutely insane. And if I'd have trusted my gut, I'd have got her right. But I got it wrong, so moving on. Next one is Best Professional Debut Performance. I thought it would be Jess Foley in Burlesque the Musical, and to be honest, I still stand by that, but I was wrong. And the winner was Timmy Akinyesade in Paddington. I have obviously seen Paddington and he was incredible. Very much deserving of that award. I do think Jess Foley is bound to win an award soon though, for either Burlesque or Les Mis. Best New Play, I predicted The Comedy About Spies by Henry Lewis and Henry Shields, aka Mischief, and of course it was The Comedy About Spies that won. How could it not be? It's Mischief. The Best New Musical Award, I predicted The Great Gatsby. Again, this one I went back and forth between my prediction and the actual winner for ages, and I ended up settling on The Great Gatsby. And out of the two, The Great Gatsby is my favourite, but the winner was Paddington, and Paddington is an incredibly close second for me. I think there are a couple of awards here where I'm very torn between Gatsby and Paddington, or Evita and Paddington. And I think there are a few awards along the way here where I say, it's Evita. Don't know why, it's Evita. Moving on. Some of them were right, some of them were wrong. Next award, Best Play Revival. I predicted Much Ado About Nothing, and it was Richard II. I don't really know why I predicted Much Ado About Nothing. I'm not really sure what was going on in my head. I mean, I talked it through, and I've watched the video back, but I'm still not quite sure what I was thinking. Anyways, it got a lot of good feedback, so could have been them, but it wasn't. It was Richard II. Best Musical Revival. I thought it would be Evita, and it was Evita. Best Regional Production, I thought it would be 13 Going on 30, and it was 13 Going on 30. Best Studio Production. Now, I hadn't seen any of these. I didn't know that much about most of them, so I was very, very unsure. And my prediction was a bit of a stab in the dark, so I was kind of expecting to get it wrong, to be honest, and I did get it wrong. The winner, my prediction was The Last 5 Years. The winner was Young Frankenstein. Best West End Show. Oh my god, I went around for ages trying to figure out who this would be. And I actually said at the end of my prediction, I have probably got it wrong because there is a 1 in 6 chance that I'm right and a 5 in 6 chance that I'm wrong. And statistically, these all had a really solid chance of winning. But I'm slightly embarrassed about my comments that I made about the show that ended up winning this award. I was way off the mark, I predicted Operation Mincemeat. It was more of a kind of process of elimination rather than anything to do with mincemeat itself, which again was a bit of a stupid way to play it for Best West End Show, wasn't it? But the winner was Les Mis. Now, if I remember correctly, in the video I said Les Mis absolutely has the ability to win this award, but I don't think it will because it's been around the longest and I think people will want to see other shows win. How wrong was I? People still love Les Mis. People still want to see Les Mis win. This is like the third sign in the past month that I've seen that like is telling me I should see Les Mis. And I know, like, shock horror, massive theatre fan, hasn't seen Les Mis. I have seen the film and I didn't really like it, so I figured there's no point me buying a ticket to see it on the West End. But after Lucy Jones's concert and her convincing everyone, after Jess Foley getting cast as Eponine and me missing her in Burlesque, and now Les Mis winning Best West End Show, maybe it's time for me to bite the bullet and buy myself a ticket to see Les Mis. Best concert event. I thought it would be Rachel Zegler live at the Palladium, and of course it was Rachel Zegler live at the Palladium who won. Best direction. I thought Luke Sheppard for Paddington. I wasn't too sure about this, but none of the others really stood out for me. But I was right, it was Luke Sheppard in Paddington. Best choreography. I was sure it was going to be 13 going on 30. If any of the others were going to win, it would be this one, and Evita did win it. That's got to be one of the only awards that Evita's up for that I didn't guess Evita or Paddington. Best Set Design Award. I thought it would be Tom Pye for Paddington the Musical, and of course it was Paddington the Musical that won because that set is stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. It would have been a crime if they'd lost. Best Lighting Design. I thought it would be John Clark for Evita, and it was John Clark for Evita. Nice and simple. Best Sound Design. Again, I thought it would be Evita, so Adam Fisher for Evita, but it wasn't. It was Gareth Owen for Paddington the Musical. Very well deserved. Best Video Design. I thought it would be Jamie Lloyd, Nick Ward and David Anderson for Evita, and it was. I mean, with the way that they did the balcony scene, if you actually went to see Evita, you'll know that the way they did the balcony scene was incredible and didn't match the way it was being talked about by people that hadn't seen it. And I think if you haven't seen it, it's really hard to just kind of imagine just what it looked like. So you're just going to have to trust us. You're just going to have to trust the What's on Stage Awards. That it was incredible. Best Costume Design. Quite frankly, I'd have been gobsmacked if I'd got this one wrong because again, how can there be any competition for the Paddington bear suit? Of course, Paddington won, that was my prediction, and the costume designer was Gabriella Slade, and it was Tara Zafar that designed the Paddington bear suit. You must have seen the pictures by now, but in person it is a whole new level of adorable. I sat at the front of the dress circle. That's a great place to sit, but if you can, I would recommend sitting in the stalls because I think that's where you're going to get the most immersive vibe. Best Wigs, Hair and Makeup Design. I went for Ray Smith, Kate Elizabeth, Campbell Young Associates and Adele Brandman for The Importance of Being Earnest, but it was actually Campbell Young Associates for Paddington the Musical. I feel like I probably should have got that. Whoops. Best Casting Direction. Natalie Gallagher for Pippa Alien and Natalie Gallagher Casting, Nick Hockaday and Annabelle Davis for Paddington the Musical. Now if you'd like to know a bit more about the casting process for Paddington Bear himself and how Annabelle Davis was involved in that, you can go check out my What's on Stage Awards predictions video because I do talk a bit more about that, or you can check out my short that is titled How Paddington Bear Was Cast because again I talk about it there if you would like to know. Personally, I think it's really interesting, especially if you're interested in the casting side of things. Best Music Supervision / Direction. I thought it would be Alan Williams for Evita, but it wasn't. It was Matt Brind for Paddington the Musical. So, Paddington the Musical took home 9 What's on Stage Awards. There were 24 in total, so it took home just over a third, which is pretty incredible and so incredibly well deserved. I mean, it's March and it opened last year, but I do think Paddington is going to be the musical of 2026, and honestly, I empathise with any other musicals opening this year because, oh my god, the bar is ridiculously high for new musicals. So well done, Paddington. So then, how many did I get right? Because I'm not going to leave you to count it all up. I'll count it all up for you. I got 13 right. 13 out of 24 is just over half, so do you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. It's more than 50%, so that's great. When I was a child, I used to love predicting the Brit Awards. I'd sit in front of the TV and say, whoever is going to win it, and then I'd be so proud of myself when I got it right. When I was about 12 years old, it was Ed Sheeran's going to win everything, and I have no idea if he did, but I was so proud of myself every time I got that right. So it's been really fun doing it with the What's on Stage Awards, and for a first attempt, I really don't think that's too bad. The Olivier Awards is obviously coming up, so I might do the same with the Olivier Awards, who knows. If you would like to see me predict the Olivier Awards, please comment below, and if anybody says that they would like to see it, I will make sure to do it. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe and share it with anybody that you think will also enjoy it, and if you'd like to leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. But for now, I will see you next week. Bye.